Now, some of the things that people say that the current government, current administration has done well is the area of health. Do you intend to sustain some of these plans? Because some people are bothered about the increasing cases of cancer, they say, in Delta State, perhaps as a result of environmental pollution.
Senator Okowa is a medical doctor and a contemporary to Dr. Dua. Health. Remember, the two major bills that have been passed are on health insurance bill, and the sickle cell issues. So clearly, health is a priority area, but he will rejig the health sector. We're going to run more on health insurance scheme to have a broader coverage. It's worked in Ghana. It's working in Kenya. So what are we going to do? We use some of those proceeds that has been earmarked for maternal health care under five as seed funds to run the entire healthcare process. It's going to be a pilot run, but it's something that will give larger percentage of Deltans the opportunity to have free healthcare. So that is central to his agenda, and I can tell you that. Okowa has become a center of excellence, as you well know. The first renal surgery was conducted there, and we will professionalize that process. Clearly professionalize that process. So for health is a gimme as far as it's concerned.
All right, tell us what is the IGR of the state and what's your target? How do you plan to increase it?
IGR currently is about between 6 and 7 billion a month, and it fluctuates. The first is value proposition to the people. What are we bringing to the table further to drive this? By the time a good number of people are engaged in terms of employment, especially given the kinds of vocational programs that His Excellency the PDP government Delta State wants to introduce, that will create more jobs for people. I'm not going to rely on PE, but we're going to ensure that technology, if you professionalize the entire process of revenue IGR collection, if you professionalize them in terms of IT, and then ensure that they are in sync, that the state government is in sync with the local government, so that there won't be multiple taxations. And then you also, from the comfort of your room or from a handset, you can see what goes to practically every local government, and they have access to it. You will even able to drive more revenue from that. There's still leakages in the system. Once technology is not fully deployed in a revenue collection process, there are leakages. First of all, you stem leakages in that process, because it's not an intended leakage. It's not intended by government, because government has started putting technology in place to do that. But some aspects of it that have not. The human element, where you have human interference in a lot of things, you begin to fail. Enforcement.
One of the things that, from this, I know that you've said that you're doing continuity, but I'm sorry, I don't quite get that picture. What I get is like you're coming in with another plan entirely. Usually what you find is that it would seem that the party carves out a manifesto. They know that maybe one administration might not be able to complete it, and so they go on with that, with the plan, with that campaign, knowing that we will be able to finish if you elect us back in. What projects would you say are ongoing currently that if elected, your administration would like to finish?
Let me first of all clear your impression, which is not, it cannot be deducted, okay, which cannot be deducted from what I have just said. Clearly, we talked about health. I said we're heading in that direction. We're only going to ensure bringing new developments in the already existing system. That's what it is. Health insurance scheme is something that we think that Governor Dora himself buys into. So it's a continuity in that direction. I'd like to clear that impression.
Is that a plan of the party?
It's a party plan.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
I
a
mean,
party.
where exactly are you in that plan? What was done by this administration and where are you heading to? These are the questions I'm asking. If you say that agriculture, for instance, is a plan of your party, what exactly, where has this administration stopped and where are you going to continue if you're elected into office? These are the questions
I
I'm
just
asking.
told you that 46 tractors have just been acquired and delivered in Delta State by Governor Duan. I've also said that another 47 has already been paid for and coming. And they're all targeted towards developing and deepening agriculture, trying to mechanize them. If that is the direction, and that's the direction we're pursuing, and that's why I said we're going to be running large-scale farms where we'll bring in most of our youth, because 60% of employment is being created by agriculture. So you can't downplay that area. And we have a pool of unemployed. So that's very critical.
Sorry, the large-scale farms, you have some, are there some already existing farm settlements that already exist?
Absolutely.
There was one that was started at about 2 billion.
That's the Obasanjo Delta State farm, which already exists. Sure.
And how functional are they?
It's pretty functional. They're commercially viable. And we can only look at what it requires further to expand the scope, to expand the hatcheries, to expand, make sure that if it's possible, what size of feed are they producing? Are they producing for just the farm, or they can become a supply source?
The question mark, perhaps, I was actually going to take you up on that, because it's as if you're coming up with a whole new plan, a new set of industries, new set of ideas, different from what has been the Delta Beyond Oil that the governor has been touting. It looks as if you're going in a different direction. But let's just stay with that, the issue of the industries that you talked about. You've spoken about agriculture now, and health. What about the industries and projects that have been started?
I just said to you that I only left government as Commissioner for Commerce and Industry in October. All of these industries I speak to you now are industries being established by Governor Duan. So it's part of the Delta Beyond Oil. And we're taking it to the next level. The 4 fish feed mills, all the equipment have just arrived.
I want to take you up on this question asked by Ino. Ino says some of the projects started as far back as 2007 and are still ongoing. For example, the IPPs as the Independent Power Project and Ugeli Asaba Road projects. He is talking about abandoned projects in Delta State under PDP. Why do you think that Deltans will vote PDP against? This is, Ino's view.
The Ugeli Asaba Road is where I transverse on a daily basis. If it says abandoned, that's absolutely a lie. That's not true. From the
is construction done on the road? Are you finished?
It's not concluded.
It's not finished.
It's not finished. So it's a gradual process. You also know that we also have some limitations on funds today, and we're also deploying most of those funds.
So could it be more about a perception for him? I mean,
it's absolutely so.
It looks like it's not finished, and he thinks it's been forgotten.
But if he had, when last did he go commute on that road? I did that only yesterday. On that road, and I can tell you that up to where we have a slight challenge is at the Asaba end, which is also currently being resolved.
Okay, let's bring this in before I wrap up. There are those who are commenting saying that particular farm, that many of them have relocated to neighboring states because of they're having some community squabble. Is that the case?
Which farm is it?
Industries. Particularly industries and companies that have been set up in Delta State have relocated to Edo State because of community issues.
Is that the case?
What community? Because we need to be specific about communities. There are several communities in Delta State. If there are communal issues, I'm sure that Delta State as a cardinal point and also in continuity, we have peace and stability. And peace is central to Governor Duan's regime, and nobody can compromise peace and security. So if those issues are brought to the fore of government, I'm sure government will handle them satisfactorily. And we're also going to, as a way of decongesting the pool, the pool of unemployed, is to also teach them, give them a lot of vocational education. We have a lot of well-furnished skill acquisition centers in the state, 12 of them, 6 very functional. and they are running well. It's also an area that we know we need to bring in people and then give them key skills. I'm aware that the state government has even created an employment scheme. We've trained people in fashion designing. We've trained people in hair cutting. People cut Mr. President's hair. People cut governor's hair. That's a lot of premium for them. So you need to change the mindset of Deltans.
Okay.
You need to get them ready
We have to
face the realities of today, to be able to connect. Because the dysfunctional education that we have does not give you the critical skill that connects to the workplace.
All right, Dr. Kingsley Emu,
Principal and all that.
Principal Secretary, Okowa Campaign Organisation, thank you very much indeed for coming on.
Thank you, and thank you, viewers.
All right, then
Vote PDP all the way. God bless you.
We'll be back in just a moment. Join us again.